Hey guys, this is UC from iTradePrice. Welcome to the weekly episode. Let us get started and review some of the charts that we follow and trade. So you're looking at Amazon weekly chart, okay? And just quickly, one thing that pops out is that you can see that any bullish week, we don't really see a bullish follow through to that, right? Every time we see a nice green healthy bar, it is followed by a red bar, right? And since the past few weeks, we just got two red weekly bars, okay? So that means the price is still overall weak structure. It's range bound, and you can see this 32, 35 area has been providing support because that has been the support since the past 3 weeks now, right? And on the top side, we did try to break out a couple of weeks ago right here to above 3400, but then quickly gave up that move. And since then, this 3350, 3360 at the most has been the resistance area. Okay, so still in this sort of range and trying to decide what to do with this part. Getting into the daily time frame, still similar story, right? Any bullish trend bar does not really see a bullish follow through. Yes, we will open up right here, but then it was more of a doji, more of a weak follow through, right? And since then we've just been kind of coming all the way down. We did have some bulls tried to impress with this little rally, but then this 3340 area provided resistance, right? We have 3 touchdowns here, 1, 2 right here, and third one on the Friday with the bullish, with the bearish trend bar which took pretty much all this 3 days worth of bullish move. So watch for early in the week for this 32-35 area, see if it bounces from there. But eventually, if you want to feel bullish on this name, getting into a lower time frame, let me show you, we need to get back above this downtrend line, right? Unless or until we are above this 3340 area, I would say the bias, or I'm leaning more towards bearishness, unless or until we kind of break above that. So just watch for this 32.35 to break down earlier in the week, or if it gets us a bounce, and see if you want to go and test this trend line one more time. This is an Apple weekly chart. We were in a nice uptrend until last week, right? Before we broke down from this nice uptrend line. And you can see a few weeks ago, we got this bearish setup, bearish 2-bar setup. It's called the dark cloud cover because this bearish bar closed below the 50% of the previous bullish bar, right? So that's just a bearish 2-bar pattern most of the traders like to see. And since then, we haven't really gotten any major bounce. We tried to bounce, but then this 138, 137 area provided a little resistance. And this last week, we kind of broke down from this trend line that the stock was maintaining for some time. And now let's see what's happening. This 126 area is support, 127 area from a few weeks ago, right? That's where the breakout initially was this past few weeks. So we're essentially trading right there. We got really lucky on, I believe, on Thursday, that we got the dip here to below 128. We caught that move and then played $2-3 worth of bounce on Friday. It was a nice trade. But if it goes below this 127 support level, I think 123.5 can be a nice first touch bounce play because of the support and this 50 SMA, or actually 20 SMA in the weekly time frame also. So look for that kind of a bounce play, at least for the first few days of the week, to see if it wants to go down and that kind of give us a little bounce back up. Moving into the daily time frame, interesting, we see this is the Thursday hammer, and then we got a little bit of follow through, nothing too exciting. So 131 remains sort of the intraday resistance level. Only once we get above that, we can target the 132.3 or this 50 SMA, right? Because then the daily time frame, we are below 50 SMA. We're trying to bounce from this area. Let's see what happens, but this 132 can be a resistance level, and then we have this downtrending moving averages. So cannot be too aggressive on the call side right now. We'll see how the next couple of days the candles form and then kind of decide. But if we fall down from this, like I said, this is a golden level. I'll definitely like to play a long move from here. Okay. Here is the Nvidia chart. We have earnings coming up this next, I believe it's a Tuesday after market close. So we can see some nice activity leading up to the earnings. I'd say this past week was bullish. We maintained this 583 support. Actually, it's much better on the daily time frame. You know, that's where the breakout was from 573 area, and then we tried to kind of, you know, sell a little down a little bit, but then on Thursday, actually sorry, right here, we did maintain this 583 support and bounce back up. And then on Friday, we couldn't really clear 606 area. That's the sort of the intraday resistance now. So once we get above that, watch for 612 level, and then all-time highs towards 615 and above can be in the picture, because it's sort of following this bull flag pattern, I would say, in the lower time frame. Let's see, 30-minute, right? So here you go. You have this nice channel sideways with 600 being the pivot level, right? Because we have an equal amount of price movement above that level, and an almost equal amount of price movement below that level, right? So on Friday, we tried to move back up, but then we also tried to move back down, and this is getting tight. So let's see which way, when the market opens on Monday, it decides to trade. Will it be above 600? If it is, then watch for this level right here to be broken, this trend line to be broken, and then we can target all these prices above that. But if we break down from 593, 583 is the support level. See if it bounces from there. If it falls through that as well, then 573 is in the cards. Okay. But overall, I still like the chart. I think it's bullish, but we'll see. The price has to justify that move, right? And usually we trade at the break of these key levels, right? So that ensures that you're getting in a high quality, high probability setup, and your calls or the stock is likely to move quickly from that key level, rather than for you to wait and see, okay, I'm in now, let's see if it moves or not. No, we're trying to time our trade so that we can go for good profits in a less amount of time. Okay. This is a weekly chart of Zoom. Nice, I mean, sort of a bullish play since the past few weeks. We have, I mean, nothing wrong with this chart right now. It's just a little pullback. It has its earnings, I believe, early March. Actually, no, it is, yeah. So 1st of March, it has earnings. Still one more week to go. So let's see how this upcoming week, you know, acts. And if we get another bullish move above these recent highs of around 445, 446. But structure-wise, you know, still sort of in an uptrend a little bit here from this 400 area. But if we get into the daily time frame, it gets a better picture. You can see the channel as well over here, how it is moving, and then this support level is between 406 and 300 and 400 level, right? That's the sort of a good golden level. The reason is you have this trend line support. If it trades here, you have this horizontal support right here, because this level was resistance. So it should act as at least support level for at least, you know, the first touch bounce or just some bounce level, right? So that's a good level. So look for that bounce if it trades there. You know, definitely on the top side, 429 has been the resistance is the past 2 days, and 414 level the support. So double bottom here, double top here. Let's see which way the price wants to move. Over and above 429, 430, we can definitely see 441, and then recent highs around 452. Below this level, we'll probably go down to the 400 level. Okay. Okay. So moving on to BABA, I did play this one on the break of 274. I think Annie had that on her chart, and then I believe she did go along above 271 all the way to 274 when that happened on Tuesday. It was a good level that we were watching. But now if you take a step back and look at it, the way it's setting up is looks like an inverse head and shoulder sort of a pattern. Here's the left shoulder, head, and then the right. So the neckline can be this whole 274 above 274 275 area, right? So if we get above that, definitely 280 and then 289 are the good targets. And if you just break down the price currently as it stands, if I zoom in a little bit, you can see the past 2 days we just kind of consolidated here above 261 and 266 level, and then this 269 270 level has been the resistance. We have multiple touch points there. The move above 270 was not impressive. Okay, we did not see any bullish close above 270 level. Yes, we did move above 270, but the close was not that impressive, right? We have these two bearish bars above 270. So once we have a close above 270, a green close with a nice bullish underlying structure, yes, this baby is ready to run towards 280, 275 or higher. But for that to happen, we need to move above 270 first. Other than before that, if we break 261, which has been the support here recently, then definitely you can target this 254 as the next support level, and that's where the 50 SMA also comes into picture. Okay, so just kind of look for that price level breaking down into a lower time frame. We are in this sort of a channel down, so this channel bottom here can also be played as a first touch bounce. If it gets there to around 259, you can play for a couple of points on the bounce side. But if it breaks down this 261, like I said, definitely a little bearish intraday. Okay, Netflix overall, it moves, but then it has been a range bound after the earnings, right? We had this big earnings week, big bullish trend bar, but since then we have just, this has been sort of an inside week, sort of a doji, and then another bearish week, but holding this 538 support level. Okay, that's the overall story of this chart, that we have just been trading between 570, 568 and 540, you can say. So, and just 20 to 25 point range on this name. In the daily time frame, we were in this up channel that we broke down from, and then now we are trading here, like I said, around 538 level, as that has been the support. Anything below that, 531 and this 528 area can be a good target on the downside. I'll definitely be a buyer there. You can say it's sort of a golden level, and I call these golden levels because usually when this thing trades at the golden levels, I increase my size. If I'm trading 5 contracts, or if I'm trading 100, 200 shares, I would increase my size to, let's say, 300, 400 shares, or my option size to 10 contracts. So, and the reason is, again, golden level, because you have a 50 SMA, you have this trend line support right there, you have this horizontal support right there. So multiple things working for you if it gets there, right? It can be a good risk and reward play if we get there. In the lower time frame, let's say in the 15-minute, you can see the channel down, right? And again, if it does not fall down towards that level and it breaks above this trend line, this down channel, that's bullish, right? But we need to see some closure above that first before we start leaning really aggressively bullish. 550 remains sort of the psychological resistance as well as the price resistance, because on I believe it's Thursday we opened right there, right? We fell down towards the trend line bottom, and then we rallied back up towards the up trend, this uptrend line, downtrend line of this channel, right? And then we broke down from here. So that means this is an important level for us. If you're going to trade bullish, you need to be aggressively bullish only above this, right? Or if it fall through all the way down to this 528 level, which we talked about, can be a good golden level to play the bounce trade. Okay, so just plan like that. Okay, here's the BA chart. Honestly speaking, I don't know what is going on with this one. I mean, as much as I like to play this one, I just feel like the moment I'll get in, it will trick us. But if you like the chart, I can explain it a little bit. So this 191 has been the good support level, right? You see two touch bounces right there, and then the move back up, and now 208 is providing good support because we have past 2 weeks, that's where it bounced from, 208 level. On the upside we have this 219, 218.7 as the resistance, and then 221 level above that, which comes from right here. We are above this down channel, so that's just a bullish thing in itself, right? Let's move into the daily time frame and see if we can break it down a little bit more. So not bad, not bad. And the reason I say that is because oops, sorry, that's my camera. We can see some form of inverse head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder, head, and the right shoulder, with this being the neckline, right? So I think it can happen fast, where once it breaks this 220, it can go all the way to this 228 swing high, which comes from right here, back from the mid-December time frame. Good price action, I mean, in the daily time frame, right? It's consolidating here since the past couple of weeks. More bullish bars, bullish trend bars, nice closures in daily time frame above 50 SMA, which is nice. You know, the red bars don't really see any follow through to the downside, which in itself is bullish. So good volume here on Friday as well. So yeah, I'm hoping that we get some sort of a follow through here. Okay, so if we open weak on Monday and then rally back above this recent highs above 219, bullish, get in. Here's the square chart. I believe its earnings are also this week. Actually looks like maybe after Monday close. So let's see what happens. Bullish chart here, weekly. Good bullish trend bar 2 weeks ago, followed by another long bottom wick, but then, you know, some selling pressure here, but still bullish close. At it closed above the high of its previous week. In the daily time frame, yeah, it's just sort of sideways action. Just a little pullback from the highs, got bought back up, and now kind of waiting for the earnings. So let's see how the earnings play out. In the lower time frame, I think we can trade it if you like, but let's see, 273 is the support level for right now, right? Because that's where it's sort of held here. It came down, oops, like this, and then now it's, you know, kind of forming this another sort of handle, cup and handle kind of a formation, with trigger for the long being above this intraday downtrend line and 281, right? If we break above that, all-time highs can even come sooner. On the downside, we have this little gap here that it can try to fill quickly, this one right here, and 268 can provide some support. Okay, so look for that that price to hold. If we get below that, yes, we have this big support area at 260, but with earnings coming up, anything can happen. This can move erratically. So I mean, if you get in for a quick trade, unless you want to, you know, be in the trade for earnings, that's your choice, but it can be pretty volatile. Here's the Tesla chart, nicely flagging, I would say. I don't really see any, bearish structure. It's just a nice, healthy consolidation pullback towards the lower end of its recent range, right? Which is around 880 all the way till, let's say, 750. This area right here. It moved up, moved down, moved up, and moved down again a little bit. So, I mean, it could be a little flaggish as well. Sorry for the mess, but that's how it looks like to me. And the red bars that you see, the red weekly bars that you're seeing, they're not really aggressively bearish, right? Because we have bottom wicks. That means that the dips were getting bought, right? So that's a good sign. And this past week, let me just move the chart to a weekly time frame. This past week, we did not really see a breakdown. I mean, yes, we did see a little bit of follow through to the downside, but this could be a range breakout failure in a higher time frame where we were maintaining this range, right? Because the weekly closures were within the range of its previous week, right, for the past 3 weeks. But this last week we broke down, right? So we break out towards the downside, but this 762 area provided support. Now the setup is that you put the buy stop order above 821. So if the price remains below that, sure, it remains below that. But if it gets above that, that's a bullish trigger that will trigger the buy order, and then we can continue to see if it breaks above this down channel as well, which it can easily, which becomes 848 area to the upside if you want to consider that. And moving on into the daily time frame, it's a little bit more visible. You can see we are seeing some support here at the channel's support, like this. If I draw it like this, which is also a 50 SMA support as well. That's where we bounced from on Wednesday, and then we got these two sort of an inside bars. So look for 800 level, psychological level should be broken to the upside, and then we can target this 825, 830 area quickly, and then we can see if it moves above that or not, but that can be the target above 800. Anything below that, we have this 50 SMA and then 762 as the support from last week. Okay, so hopefully you guys like this week's video. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, please don't hesitate to leave a message. Okay, thank you and have a good rest of your Sunday.